As someone who struggled with alcohol for nearly 10 years, the thought of never drinking again was honestly terrifying to me. Even though I really struggled to control my drinking and had a lot of negative issues linked to my drinking, a big part of me really still loved to drink. I loved the ritual, I loved the buzz, I loved the social aspect, the taste of alcohol. I really loved to drink, but what I didn't love is that 99% of the time when I drank, I would go overboard and not have control, and it would result in a blackout or a hangover or just doing and saying things that I regretted and feeling really out of integrity with myself, because often I would say, I'm just gonna stick to 2 drinks tonight, and then inevitably it would be more like 2 bottles of wine. So even though I sincerely wanted to get my drinking under control and be more of a moderate drinker, the thought of never drinking again honestly terrified me, and I attempted to quit drinking many times over the course of a 10-year period that I struggled, but I would always return to drinking again, whether it was a few days, few weeks, or a few months later. And as I look back, the reason that I would always return to drinking again, even though I would feel like I was resolved, I'm gonna quit drinking, or I'm gonna take this, year-long break from alcohol, I'd feel so resolved to do that. The reason I would continue to return to drinking and destructive drinking again, I found, is really because I was craving alcohol. I was desiring alcohol. I was mentally preoccupied. I just, on a deep level, really wanted to drink. And if I was forcing myself not to, it was very white-knuckled. I would feel very annoyed. I'd be resentful at people who could drink and I wasn't allowed to. So all of these really uncomfortable emotions and feelings and really genuine cravings for alcohol that were just constant and incessant, that would always lead me back to drinking again. But gratefully, in 2017, I stumbled upon a treatment that is called the Sinclair Method, that's been around since the 90s, and it's proven to help most people reduce their drinking over time by repairing alcohol use disorder at the root level, which I learned is actually inside the brain. As soon as I learned about the treatment, I knew that I had to try it. I'd never heard of anything like that before. I'd only ever really heard of abstinence-based treatments, and that there's no such thing as moderate drinking, and if you have a problem with alcohol, you need to quit drinking. But I just knew that this treatment was different, and I had to give it a try. And I can honestly say it felt like a miracle to me. The changes I saw in my drinking were incredible. I saw myself begin to have this control over alcohol that I never had before, where before I started the treatment, I could easily drink 1 to 2 bottles of wine a night, no problem. After about a month or 2 on this treatment, I could no longer finish a bottle of wine anymore, which that's still a lot of alcohol, but I could just see that my drinking was decreasing, because once I would have 3 or 4 glasses, I would just feel satisfied and not want more than that. Another big change I started to notice through this treatment is that craving, that mental preoccupation and just thinking about drinking started to fade away. I used to start thinking about my evening wine ritual around 11 o'clock every day. I would just start looking forward to it, think, do I have to go to the store? How much wine do I have at home? Or maybe I'm gonna go out for happy hour with friends. I would just start romanticizing and thinking about my drinking and think about it all day long. And through this treatment, that just started to quiet down to the point where I realized, wow, I'm not really thinking about drinking anymore. I don't really have this obsessive compulsive desire to have a drink. And the longer I was on this treatment, the better it worked. I just saw myself regain my control back over alcohol, get to a place where I was pretty just indifferent to alcohol, where I could just take it or leave it. Sure, I might have a couple of drinks, but I'm also fine to not have a couple of drinks, or I'm fine to go weeks and weeks between my drinking sessions. So alcohol, even though it was still in my life, it was taking up a much smaller part, and I really saw myself have this regained control over it that I never ever had before. Today, it's been about 6 years since I started the treatment, and after I was on this protocol for about a year and I got to this place of moderate drinking, what happened for me is I ended up actually quitting alcohol I tell people by accident because I never intended to quit drinking, because through this treatment, we're allowed to drink if we want to, and it helps us drink with control. But after about a year on the treatment, I just became so uninterested in alcohol that I kept going longer and longer without drinking, and now it's been over 5 years since I've drank alcohol, and I literally have no desire to consume alcohol, no craving for alcohol. And because of this treatment, if I wanted to drink, I'm allowed to. I would just follow the protocol, but I just haven't had a desire to drink. So I just wanted to share this with you. You know, the time I'm making the video is dry January. I know a lot of people participate in this month to get to a place of a healthier relationship with alcohol, to reset their drinking habits. But I just want you to know that there's an alternative option out there that unfortunately a lot of people don't know about. It's called the Sinclair Method, and it can help most of us get to a place where we have that moderate relationship with alcohol, whatever that means to you, where we feel like we have our control back over alcohol. And for those who want to go alcohol free, it's possible through this treatment as well. Like I said, I never intended to quit drinking, but just what happened after I was on the treatment for a year. So I'm a huge advocate for this treatment. I also run an online program where we guide other people through the treatment protocol. It's private. It can be done from home. So if you want to learn more, you can click the link in my profile or check out all the other videos I have on here as well. Thank you for watching. Take care.